Hello, welcome. How has your Friday been? How has your week been? I hope you've done lots of open source coding, and if you haven't, you've got the weekend. So you've got 2 days over the weekend. Keep work-life balance, definitely agree with that. But just don't forget to do some open source coding. But how is everybody doing? I did a little bit of open source coding since, I suppose little bit is all relative. So, but a little bit for my kind of what I usually do this week. I've been busy trying to get back into the work after my holiday. So I've done a little bit, and I'm quite keen to show you what I've done, and then hopefully we can finish it off tonight as well. Finish off the monitoring features that we've discussed before. So, what are you seeing now? Aha, you're seeing my screens. Let me switch to my computer screen. That would be better. And if I just switch to Chrome, so you can see what I've been working on. If I go right back to the beginning, I did fix a few bugs as well that I noticed. So you go right back to the beginning and go to, so this is the list of public environments, and one of the bugs that I fixed, I don't know if you'll be able to see, it's probably off the bottom of the screen. Hey Jewel, how you doing? We're busy doing open source. Cool, good to hear. I hope you feel better and you feel happier that you're doing open source. I know I do. I feel a lot of kind of excitement, and I don't know. I get to meet so many people doing open source as well, which is really cool. So it's good. So one of the bugs that I fixed was we've got these. The top 3 are the ones I've created by logging in, and they took us to the public version of the environment. But now they'll take us to the private version. So if I click on it, you can see I've got all these extra icons at the top. And if I go back to that, on the ones below, the 4 kind of test ones, if I click on them, I don't have those icons because I'm viewing that environment as a kind of a public person. So Jewel, how has your week gone? So you've been doing open source. I hope everything's gone well. It's always good to have you join us. Definitely keep me on my toes. I know that. I'm still a bit jet lagged, so you know, no funny business today. Okay, so that's what I've done. And if I click on, so I fixed that bug, and then if I click on one of my environments, I was doing monitors, which is this icon over here. And so now you can see I've got one monitor. There's no add button, because I hard coded in the API a while ago to limit to a single monitor, which I want to remove and change. So if I actually go back to another environment, say C, and go to monitors, you'll see the plus is there, and I can add one. Although I can't, because it says the environment hasn't got a URL to monitor. But that's something actually I did finish off since we last spoke. But if I go back to A, I've done the edit as well, so we can edit. Oh sorry, if I go to monitors, we can, you cannot edit a monitor actually, so no, that's, I want to make it that if you've got these pings on a monitor, you can't edit a monitor, because then the pings will not be related to that monitor that already existed. So monitors are immutable. You'd have to delete it and create it again, although I haven't done delete yet, so we'll do that today. These are the pings I did earlier, and if I take a ping now, you can see 1 second ago it took 192 milliseconds to hit this URL. I can do a few more. We can see I've got some pings there, and we can hit refresh. Just fixing some bugs in .NET. You're going to be a while. No, I'm joking. I can't make any Microsoft or jokes. Because actually a friend of mine was saying they're going to start working at, another friend are going to say they're going to start working at Microsoft. So, I've got to kind of rein it in. And he was telling me all the cool stuff they're doing over there with open source and team building, kind of community. And I don't mean team building in the kind of, I don't know, corporate way where they say, hey, let's play with some Lego, which is quite good fun. But in terms of, they were really supportive of each other, and it was really quite interesting actually to hear what he said. Not making jokes today, like coding with open source Microsoft language on the Mac. Right, on that note, I'm going to get back to coding on my Mac doing open source. So we've got these pings, and you can see the icon is kind of what I copied and pasted. So what I plan to do today, or what we plan to do today, is I'm quite keen to finish off this pings list page. So if the ping fails, as in it's not what you expected, I want the something to go red, so it's obvious. And maybe I make it go green. It'd be quite colourful, but maybe just red is enough if it's not valid. And then I want to be able to delete the monitor as well. What else do I have on my list? Let me bring up. I want to bring up Safari. Yeah, here we go. So if I bring up Safari and I just go into monitors, let's just see what we have. Delete monitor and ping list to show colors for valid. Okay, we'll do delete first. Okay, so I think that is good. If anyone has any questions, do jump in and ask. I'm always learning all the time as well, so if you have any questions, let me know. If you see any improvements that you can make, also do let me know. Yeah, I'm always keen to make improvements. So this is the ping service. If we go to the ping list, let me find it. I don't need that. So in the view, here we go. So this is the list of pings in the view. We show the duration, we show the URL, and we show when the ping was done. So what we would like to do is change the color, or we'll change the icon actually, I think, because I don't think the icon is right. And the icon is what I'm using for the dashboard, so that's bad. Maybe I'll use the ping icon at the top right. And what does everyone think? How long have you been programming? Hey, Brightlighter, BL, let's say BL. A while, as in today, probably since this morning, but no, in terms of my career, almost 15 years, I think, but that doesn't mean I've stopped learning. There is just always so much more to learn. I actually really believe that if someone's not moving forward with their whatever skills they want, they're actually moving backwards, because everyone else and the technology especially is moving forwards. So you know, keep moving forward with what you're learning. I mean, what's your background? Again, I want to say BL rather than lighter. So I'll probably saying that wrong. But yeah, what's your background and kind of where you at in your journey? Slayer Darth, long time no see. How have you been? Released my first Ruby gem this week. Nice. It's always a good feeling when you kind of release you know, a library. I think that's pretty cool. What was it on? What was it about? I don't know Ruby, but I'll still be interested to know what the gem did. Feels bad, man. Yeah, it's the bot Nightbot blocked your link. Just put a space before and after the dot, and we can kind of copy and paste it and fetch your system info from your machine. Okay, cool. And then what does it do? Does it return it as JSON? Does it display it on a web page? But BL, let us know what technologies you're interested in. So the technologies I'm using on this project is fully open source. So if do have a look at GitHub, it's DashboardHub Pipeline Dashboard, and it's fully open source using Angular 6 on the front end, Node and serverless on the back end of DynamoDB, which in about 6 weeks is going to probably change from DynamoDB to Aurora serverless, which will be Postgres or MySQL. Here we go, Ruby gems. Let me bring it up. Let's have a look. Let's show everyone your project. I think it's always good to see things. Let me open it up in Safari. Let's have a look. Oh, I should have removed the space, which was a bit stupid. There we go. 389 downloads already. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then is there a link to the GitHub page? Here we go. I don't know Ruby, so I don't know what to look for. But in terms of an open source perspective, you've got contribution guidelines, which is awesome. You've got usage to do. Okay, I think you need to work on that definitely. But you've got a license, you've got code of conduct. Looking good. code of conduct. You can, with the contributor, you can create the contributor file. So if I went to like raise an issue, or if I went to create a pull request, then it would kind of have a template filled in already. But no, it's looking good. That looks cool. Well, let me catch up on the chat. Eddie's show, yeah, the Eddie show has started. Thank you, Joel. We will get some coding done, promise. Returns it as text. Okay. And what future improvements do you plan to make on that, Slayerdarth? Do you plan to make it so people can configure it so they can have it as text or JSON or XML or YAML? I don't know what other formats, CSV, the cool kids are playing with nowadays. I have a BS in bus info systems. I'm getting into Python programming, learning to solve challenges on HackerRank. Cool. Oh, it's two eyes. It's not bright lur. It's the screen. That screen was just too far away, and it's BRII. So it's brighter. That's easy. I can do that. I think it's brighter, correct? I know you can put pause for the double I. Brighter, but yeah. Okay, I should read it a bit closer next time. I am wearing my glasses, so maybe I need them checked out or something. Slayerdarth, working for both Windows and Linux. So I cannot, I don't have a Mac though, so I cannot test on there. It's pretty much default documentation. So I need to update that soon. The actual code's in the lib folder, CSV and JSON, I think for now. Okay, cool. We've got a couple of options, so that's good. I'll also need to test on more distros, so we'll set up some containers soon. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, usually, yeah, check on like the main distros, sort of the Red Hat, the Ubuntu, which is, I can't think what it is now, but yeah, the main distros. But usually Ruby and languages like that are pretty good working across all of them, but still worth checking, definitely. Cool. Okay, so if I remove that, let's get back to some code. So we were doing a delete next. So the delete does have the API part done. So we just have to plug the UI into it. Oh, I got a follow. Brighter, thank you very much for the follow. I usually stream on a Monday and a Friday now. I try to do short streams every day, Monday to Friday, but it never kind of worked out. So now I'm trying to do Monday and Friday, but not rush the stream so much. Although I am a bit jet lagged, so you know, if I nod off, someone scream at me, which I probably won't because I love coding too much. But I will probably start mumbling. Okay, so on which view do we want to do the delete? So I've got a delete somewhere. Here we go. Delete environment is up here, but it's set to disable. So let's remove the disable. And let's add a click. So we want to say when we click, we want to delete, but we need to know which environment it is. Do we need to pass that through? No, we know which monitor it is actually already. So let's have a look. If I go down to the TypeScript file for this file, yeah, we know what monitor it is. So we've got the ping, we've got the refresh, and we would want to delete as well. So if we add here, delete, and we're going to pass nothing back, and we're going to go to the, not to the ping service, we're going to go to the monitor service, and we're going to say, there's no delete in the monitor service. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but no problem, we can remedy that. So we will want a delete, and we will need the environment ID, which will be a string, and then we will want also the monitor ID. Do we just want an ID or do we want the whole object? I think just the ID. So just do that as a string as well. We can always change this in the future. We will want to return an observable of what though? Because if you're deleting it, there's nothing to return, and we'll probably just do a redirect. Then we can just return an observable of Boolean maybe. I need to have a think about this. Evie Brink, hey, nice to see you. Good, it's been a while. How are things going? How's all your coding going? What coding challenges have you done now on I think using Free Code Camp? So yeah, how's that been going? When are you making a new UI? I'm making a new UI at the moment. Does it look that bad that you're suggesting that I make another new one? I've got an event in 4 weeks, so this one is the one I'm going to stick with for the moment. I will add some graphs over the next couple of weeks and make it a bit nicer. Yeah, this is the one I'm doing. Brighter, I have a new love of coding because it's just making puzzle pieces fit together and make a picture. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is coding is like Lego. You can kind of build what you want, and it is very creative because you can be as creative as you want. Yeah, so for example, with the new UI that I'm doing, if I bring that up again, which will break as soon as I go to this because it will automatically reload and I'm halfway through writing some code. But actually that did load. Yeah, so this is the new UI, and you know, I'm doing it quite basic for now, and then I'll improve it as we go along. That's the idea. Jewel, and what do you think about Google promoting material design to Angular even though it doesn't have enough components? Yeah, I heard there were some interesting announcements recently. I'm using material design anyway with Angular, but I haven't heard the announcements in details. I just heard it's quite interesting, and I had some friends send me some links, so I'm quite keen to have a look at those and see what the news is. You're obviously following it quite closely. Delete should return the deleted object. I disagree actually, Jewel, because the API probably can return a 204. The content's been deleted, so why should it return it? It's a debate I think I've had quite a few times with people, and I keep kind of going round in circles. As in 1 minute I think it should return nothing after the delete because it's deleted, and other times I think, well, it should still return the deleted object. So yeah, I'm kind of always on the fence on this one. But to keep it simple, I think for the moment I have to check the API docs, but I think what I've done is I return no content, because I'm just going to redirect back to the monitor list once that monitor's been deleted anyway, because then they can just add a new monitor or go view another monitor. Evie Brink, we'll get back to it on Monday when I'm back. Oh yes, you were on holiday, of course. I hope you're having a good trip, and hope you've taken your laptop and done a little bit of coding, even if you haven't been able to stream. Internet's not ideal at the moment. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, make sure you keep doing some coding. I mean, when I was in Thailand, I didn't stream, but I still did lots of coding. You'll see my GitHub activity still ticking along. So, but Joel, going back to what you're saying, because I return nothing on the API, which I think is correct. If I just go to the API README, it's in there. And if I go to delete environment, no. Delete token, no. Delete monitor. Yes, so there's nothing returned. So in the observable, I'm not sure. You can't have nothing. Can you have void? I don't know. Maybe you can. No, it doesn't like that at all. A function whose declared type is neither void or any must return a value. So any seems worse. If I return a boolean, which would probably just be false, maybe. Oh no, I know why. Void, because I haven't got anything in there. Let's just try and see how we go. So what I want to do is, if I return this HTTP delete, and it's going to be there's no generic passed in. However, I do want it to go to the API URL, and it's going to be, actually, you know what? I can just copy this mark here. I don't know why I'm typing it. And it's going to need a monitor. I can't type today. Monitor ID. There we go. And it doesn't like that. It's because what observable object is not assignable to observable void. Okay. Because I'm not casting it. I'm not passing in a generic to cast it. So if I pass in a boolean, would that work? Or no, void in fact. Yeah, so that kind of, it seems happy with that. Let's give that a go and see how that looks. Or null. Yeah, true, null. I noticed in Angular 6, in their linter, they don't like null. You get it complains. and actually it prefers to use undefined rather than null. I'm not a big fan of null anyway, but undefined is what they're proposing that they use in other places. But I don't want to put undefined in there. I mean, null would probably work as well, although it'll complain up here too. If we just go null. Oh no, it doesn't like that. I still got it underlined. What does it say? Use undefined instead of null. That's exactly what I was saying a second ago, is the linter prefers undefined to null. But that just seems to pass in an undefined. It seems a bit weird. Void just seems a bit nicer. I think effectively they're the same, right? Let's give it a go. So down here we were going to go delete, and we're going to pass in the environment ID and the monitor ID. And then once we've done that, it will be an observable back. So we want to subscribe, which we get nothing. And then we want to do a redirect, which will be this router dot navigate. Where we're going to want to go, monitor list, I think. And I can't remember the URL for monitor list. Let's have a look. Monitors, here we go. So it's environment ID monitors. We'll do it as an array. So it will be environment. Probably done more coding today in today's stream than I did in the last 5. Monitors, environments, and then we want the environment ID, which we have, we know, environment.id, and then we want just monitors, I think, because there's no particular monitor I want to go to. Let's see if this works. Evie Brink, anyway, got to go now. Just wanted to pop in and say hi. Thank you very much, Evie Brink, for popping in and saying hi. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your trip, and we'll see you on, I think, Monday you get back. So looking forward to seeing your stream then. I'm full stack Angular. Wrap the 28th line on monitors view component TS. Monitors view 28. Yeah, that is quite long. It's true, actually. Where should we wrap it on there? There we go. Okay, let's give that a go. Let's see if that works. It's loading. It's loading. It's thinking about it. Right. So 18 minutes ago was the last ping. I'll take another ping 1 second ago. That looks good. Right, and if we hit delete, error, broken. What? It's not happy about something. Okay, let's have a look. So the API threw an error saying serverless offline. Okay, so I haven't seen that error before. That's quite interesting. What endpoint did we hit? That doesn't look right. I shouldn't have env in front. Let me restart the API. It's been running for like a week and I haven't restarted it, so let's start it locally. And I'll probably just rebuild the UI as well. A bit of fun. Let's just rebuild it all. And while I'm doing that, let me show you my screens, and you can kind of anyone new can kind of see my cool screens. Big screens off at the top. But I was watching actually some awesome videos on YouTube today on that. Okay, UI is at 71%, so it's just building at the moment. Let's come back to reality, and this will refresh once it's built. 90% still going. Okay, here we go. It's good to show you the screens because then you can understand why I keep looking all over the place. Too many screens. Okay, so that's rebuilt. Let's go back to. So I lost the environment I created, but that's fine. We'll just say add an environment. We'll just call it stream environment. Test stream environment. And we'll give it a link so we can actually ping this link. I won't give it a logo. We'll submit that. And now if I go to monitors, we haven't got any, so I will add one. And I'm just going to submit the default, which is a get on the root of the URL, and I'm expecting a 200. So let's just submit that. and every 30 minutes this would send a ping. I'm just going to do a manual ping now just to get some results in. There we go. You can see I'm doing lots of pings. Okay, and let's hit delete and see if that works. No, still doesn't like it. Why not? Oops, clicked on the wrong thing. For once, how is your last name pronounced? So what you see on Twitch is the abbreviated surname. So it's just Jald. Just keep it simple. But actually, I even write it in the chat. My actual full surname is Abu Jalde. So it's like this, and the E at the end has accent aigu, but I haven't got that on my keyboard and I don't know the shortcuts because I never use it. But yeah, Abu Jalde from Lebanon. But yeah, it's too hard. At university, everyone called me EJ because it was just simpler. Okay, I don't know why it's putting EMV in. Oh, I know why it's putting EMV in front. Let's switch back to the code. Let's go to the service. I think I messed up the service. But that's correct. API environment, actually. So if you look, oh no, wrong one. Monitor servers I want. Here we go. It could be because of this void. Oh, I have got env in here. I don't know why I put that in. No one spotted that. We're supposed to be pairing together. No one spotted my mistake. Okay, this should probably work now. Let's have a look. Stream environment. Monitors. Go into monitors. Let's hit delete. Look at that, it works. So now we're back to the monitors page and we've got no monitors. So if I add a new one, and I'll add one like this, do some pings. I need a breadcrumb up here so people can see where they are actually. That could be quite an idea. So I've done some pings. If I go back one to the monitors list, you can see there's monitors here. I haven't put a total how many pings there are, but I should. If I go into that, hit delete, you come back to the monitors page and it says there's no monitors. So that's pretty good. I should probably in the future add a "are you sure you want to delete" and those sorts of nice things, but because I'm rushing to get this new UI up within the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna have to kind of have some rough edges that I'm gonna have to kind of leave for the moment. Yeah. Is anyone using your paid service? No, so I'm actually not publicizing it from a business perspective at the moment, and I won't until the 13th of June when I go to the event. Actually at the moment just publicizing that the project's open source and I want techies to look at it and do that side. So I'm trying to do a very slow rollout. So I've got a few people using it, and I just realized I was talking on Safari and I wasn't showing you what I was doing, so let me do that again. But yeah, I'm being conscious about getting some feedback first and then making some changes, and especially wanting to change the database from DynamoDB to Aurora serverless, which is probably not going to happen in the next 4 weeks before this event. I'm trying to keep the numbers as low as possible, so if anything does go wrong in the migration, I don't upset too many people. So let me show you what I was going to do. So on the monitors list, if I hit add, I'm just going to hit submit, and I'm just going to keep all the default options that are below. And there are no pings. I'll just do a manual ping and a couple more. If I go back to the monitors list, I've got one monitor and it has the 4 or 5 pings we just took, but it's 1 out of 1 because you're limited to 1 at the moment. If I go back into that list and hit delete, we come back to the monitors list and we've got a 0. So the plus has now reappeared, so we can add it again. So that delete works. So if we go back to GitHub, we can tick off delete monitor. That was done. That was pretty easy. That wasn't too bad at all actually. So that's pretty cool. And the next thing I want to do is the icon and the valid and invalid, if the ping is valid or invalid. So let's go back to that, and if we add another monitor, if I just do a few pings, these are all successful. I want to make some of them fail in a second by putting like a fake URL in, and I want these to something to go red or something to display differently. I don't know if Material Design has any good icons for. I could, rather than changing the color, I could change the icon maybe. or I could maybe just change the color of the icon, make it red or something. Do you have any other open source projects that you earn from? No, I don't think so. No, I don't. But I do on my consultancy side from the open source. So people find me from my open source projects and say, we want to release our project as open source. Can you come and consult on how the best way to release it open source is? So for example, code of conduct, GitHub templates, and all the rest. And I'll do that over a few months, say maybe doing kind of 1 day a week for them, or 2 days a month, just to help the team kind of open source their project and trying to lower the barrier to entry and do that community side. So not directly for my project. This will probably be the first one, fingers crossed. But there are other things that happen as an effect, as a positive side effect of my open source projects. Vendra. Normally open source projects you contribute towards are not the direct money earners. They are enablers to, yeah, exactly, to building products you'll make money from. Typically, to make money on an open source project, you'll be offering a service. There are great icons on material. Yeah, I need to find a decent one. Yeah, so I think like Red Hat and Ubuntu, they make money from offering support and like MySQL and so on. So yeah, with DashboardHub, I plan to do it. So if your project's open source or your data's public, then it's free. But if you want it private and you want more, because at the moment I've got TTLs on the data, so the data gets deleted after. I think pings are for a week and releases are for a month. But with the paid servers, I plan to keep data for maybe a year, so people can profile things for a lot longer, and I'll do some performance work on that. Right, let me open material design and material icons. Let's find some icons. I'm really bad at finding icons. It's just so difficult. Where are the icons? They don't look good. Oh, here we go, they're loading now. Okay, so I want a negative and a positive. Tick. What about this one? So maybe the check circle, and I can have the check circle as green or red. That might be right. Can always change it in the future. Let's have a look. Let's do this one. Check circle. Copy that. Okay. Go back to the code. We don't need that service anymore, but we need the HTML, and here we're going to do that, and we'll do 2. Oh no, we only need 1 actually. We'll do 1, and we'll want class, and let's just do it as green, and they'll all be green, but let's just check it works. Thanks for explaining open source to me. Oh, message deleted. Why? I was reading that a second ago. Oh, Jewel, all your messages got deleted. I don't know why. Oh, every single one got deleted. Not sure what happened there. I've scrolled back through the history. Every single one got deleted. Jewel, all your messages are gone? Question mark. I'm not very familiar with open source. Yeah, I don't have no answer to that. I wasn't trying to teach you how to suck eggs. Is that the expression? But yeah, just I've got green ticks. But was just thinking out loud in terms of open source. They're green. Okay, green tick. That looks positive, right? Green tick. Let's make a red one. So if I let me just check. So I want to do a ternary here. So let me remind myself how to do this. Vendra's actually really good at this. I put a class in here. Is that how it works? Does anyone remember how to do a condition for a class? I can't remember. I might have to Google it. Oh, you're not even seeing my code. I left the that up. There we go. So I've got the class in here, and I want to do this as a ternary. So I want to say, so I do on the ping object, I do have is valid. So I want to say if it's valid, make it green. If it's not valid, make it red. I can't think how a ternary works. There's something in Angular you can do. I can't remember how it works. Not showing the code. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm really bad at that. Yeah, seeing the code now. Hopefully, I can't remember. I have to bring it up in. I have to Google it. I just don't remember. Angular class condition. I can't remember now. Not JS. There we go. Oh, it's ng class. Right. Okay, got you. Okay. That explains it. ng class. Correct. Okay, and then in here, how does it work? Well, that's going to be a string. Let me go back to how do I do the condition? I can't remember now. Well, I suppose I could do it class dot, and I could put the class name, and then I could do it that way. I don't know if I like that. So I could do it so rather than ng class, I think I can do this. Class dot tc green 700, I think, and then in here I can go is valid. But I need to duplicate it and have a red one to say if it's not. Well, I need to duplicate it. Maybe I could just have another one of these, and then go. I think it's red, and if it's not valid. I think that should be. Would that work? Let's have a look. Well, they're all red, but they weren't. These were actually valid pings, so that didn't work so good. Oh, I didn't show you. Sorry, not showing you the. They're all red, but these ones are valid. I haven't broken it yet to get invalid ones, so that's incorrect. So maybe you can't have two. Maybe you can't have two of these. Let me check actually the data that's coming back to make sure is valid is true, but I'm pretty sure it is. So in pings, in preview, I have is valid false. Oh, so it should be red. False. Why is it false? Status code 200, text match true, code match false. Oh, okay. What did it get? I must capture that somewhere. 200, and what did I ask for? Let me go back. I wanted a 200. I got a 200. Okay. Why not class invalid green red? Yeah, that's another way to do it. I wasn't. I was kind of on the fence which way to do it. Oops. So class. I think it's ng class, right? So it's ng class. And then do it so is valid green else red, which is A400 I think. I should also return the same results. Let's have a look. Yep, it looks the same. Why is it false though? It's quite interesting. Text match true, but the status code match was false. Oh, I know why. Let me delete this, I'll show you. I think I get a 301, but I should be recording with the status code I get. I'm not sure if that's the one. Let me look at the code. I'm not sure if that's the one that's received or expected. Because I have text matched. I do have code matched. Let me just check the code. Let's have a look. API, source, environment, monitors, ping. So in this code, we have got, these are the monitors, here's the actual ping itself. So the status code, okay, so the status code is the code it gets back. So why is it invalid? Here we go, so is valid if the code is matched and the text is matched. Let me see, what does the console output also give? Does it give anything? Let me just do another ping real quick and see if anything shows up. I doubt it. It is valid, it just puts the output which we just saw, which is the is valid is false. I don't get, Jewel, why are all your messages going? Stop spamming symbols. What's a symbol? Like a question mark or something? Maybe I can put console log in here and see, because the status, this was all working before, so I don't think I've changed anything. So this is actually the status code. These are not equal. So we've got the response status code and the expected status code is not valid. So let's do a console log and see. So if I go console log, and if we console log, we'll do the expected one first. So if we go monitor dot expected code, and then we'll do the response dot status code. Let's have a look and see. 10-minute timeout, harsh. How do you know it's 10 minutes? Oh, it says it there, 600 seconds. How can I remove it? If I click on Dual, what happens? Nothing. Sorry, Dual. I don't know how to remove it. I still don't understand why it was stop spamming symbols. I wonder what symbols is. Oh, let me check if there's any. Jewel, write in the Discord. Let me know what you posted. I'd be interested to know. Okay. Save that. Let's run this again. Let's do a ping, another ping. I'm just going to check my terminal once. Bear with me 1 second on this screen over here, and I did have a console log output. I can't see it. That did not work so well. So yeah, I did. If I show you back the code, I did have console log. Hey JB, good to have you here. How you doing? How's the streaming going? Are you winning lots of games? When are you gonna stream on some tech stuff? Console log. Why did this not output anything in the logs? I'm looking all the way over here on this screen. So if I actually show you this, you can kind of appreciate me leaning over to this screen to see on the far left of it. Let's have a look. Why did that not console log anything out? I don't get it. Yeah, JB, you should definitely, absolutely. See some tech stuff. But glad it's been good. You stream quite, I think it's late at night. I wake up in the morning and I have notifications and it says JB's been streaming, and it's been like 3 AM or 4 AM here, and I'm thinking, okay, that's I get up early, but that's seriously early for me to watch it. But hopefully I can over the weekend I can catch some of your streams. Yeah, that console login is not working. So if I go back to this, does that not console log anything out? Okay, I might have to park this and look at this later on. I'm not going to bore everyone with my my issues. So this should work though, right? So if it's valid and invalid, it will work, and it will color it directly. But this is actually just getting a false back, so that's why it's red, which is correct. So that's fine. Okay, cool. So let me tick that one off because I think that one works. Let's get rid of this. So ping list to show colors for valid and invalid. Boom! I think we can close off this issue. I think I can even commit that, push it up, get that deployed actually. It won't take too long. So if I go back to the IDE and PST is it's the states. I'm trying to think which side is that. Let me have a quick Google. What's the time difference? PST, BST. Oh, you're 6 hours. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That explains it, definitely. So let me commit this. So I need to make a branch as well. Oh, that's a lot of changes. I don't like changes that big. So the issue number is 802. So let me just bring this over into another branch. So it's git checkout -b is going to create the branch for us all in one go. It's going to be issue 802 just so it matches the issue number. And if I do a diff, I mean this is pretty big, but I'm guessing it's okay. I have the linter has got more strict with Angular 6, so I have added some things on to kind of keep it happy. I don't like this or. I'm going to see if I can sort that out. Just having a quick glance through and see how it is. The code, it looks okay. Nothing stands out major. This is quick code review. It will go into a PR anyway, so you all can have a look at it on GitHub. Before I do a commit and a push, I do like to have a quick glance over just so I can make sure nothing stands out. I did fix a lot of these things that Linter complained about not having a comma at the end. And I solved the so Venzera. I did solve the link issue that I mentioned to you when you've got the on the public page of the list of environments, but you're logged in, and I wanted it so that if you owned the environment, it took you to the private view of it, and if you didn't, it took you to the public view. The issue was not the link, so I had actually fixed that issue before, but the issue was it still didn't work. And the reason why it didn't work was when it was creating that link, it didn't have your profile, so it didn't know who you were, so it didn't know if you owned it or not. And it turned out it's because I was using subject rather than replay subject, so it was coming in, it was subscribing after the authorization had published who the user is to the application. So now I'm using replay subject so it can pick up the last item off the list, and that works quite nicely. What else have we got? Oh, RxJS is fun, yeah. But the odd thing was it was working for the navigation, but not within the page. So I was adamant that shouldn't have been an issue, but I didn't quite get to the bottom of it. But I think the navigation was working just coincidentally rather than it should have been. So I don't know how much more I need to flick through, but yes, I've changed all these. I really prefer doing this. Well, not with any, that's wrong, so I did fix that. But having the type and then having a generic passing of the type. But the linter is, I've created an object for it now. But rather than having array patch, it wanted patch array, which I really don't like. But I'm not going to fight the linter. I'm not going to customize it. If that's the standard, kind of the vanilla default standard, let's just go with it and see. This has been kind of a week's worth of work. I'll look at it better on GitHub, I think. Let's do it. Let's just push it up. Okay, so git commit. Is 10 minutes up yet? Is Jewel back yet? Let me see if he's put anything on Discord. Jewel. You wrote that. Okay, so Jules saying he wrote ng class is valid, class 1, class 2. Yeah, exactly what we did. Weird that it deleted all your historic messages and banned you for 10 minutes. It seems a bit harsh. I don't know why it liked that, because of the symbols. And that's weird. Apologies for that. But yeah, you're right. What you did, what you're suggesting is correct. But I did see that actually before Nightbot removed the message and banned it. That's how I did see that, and I did do that from what you suggested. Okay, so we're going to do a commit, and we're going to say it's a feature, and it's for monitors. Can you see this at the bottom? Yes, you can. Awesome. And it's for issue 802, so that will be GitHub ties the commit to the under the issue in the issue timeline. And we did CRUD, kind of CRUD, there's no update, but CRUD monitors and pings. And you don't get kind of, but you kind of get just CRUD monitors. Actually, I think that's enough. Okay, let's push that up now. Actually, I think this might actually fail once I push it up. What I should do, in fact, is also run a build locally in terms of running Angular in prod mode to make sure that it works. Let me just do that as well now. Prod. Make UI.build, I think it is. Because I might be partially in the middle of a couple of other things that I spotted, and it might be an issue. So let's just build that locally now. We can't. Actually, I should have done it locally. I should have done it on the terminal now. Let me exit that and let me do this. So make UI is to run the UI in dev mode, but if I do make UI build, it will run it in prod mode. So we can see now. So we're going to see that on the right hand side. So we're building the Angular. We're compiling the Angular locally. And it's a bit stricter when it does that, so we can see. Here we go. So if I'd pushed that, it would have broken on CI. So this has saved me some time. Property refresh does not exist on monitor list. So I kind of started something, but I haven't finished. So if I go back to here on monitor list, here we go. Refresh doesn't work. So I have not implemented that. So we'll do that now. We'll do that together. It'll be really quick. Have a look. Let me make this a fraction smaller over here and make this a fraction smaller over here, give us some more real estate in the middle. So we've got this refresh. So I could remove it and commit it and push it, but I'm just going to implement it. It's quite an easy thing to do. What we will do is we will go to the component, the refresh. Oh, it is there. Why doesn't it like it? What was the error? Refresh is not a function. Okay. What have I done wrong? It is this one, right? List, monitor, list component. Oh, this is view. Okay, so it's not this one. Yeah, I'm looking in the wrong place. Let me close some of these. Monitor, list, component. This one. Right. Refresh here doesn't exist. No, it doesn't. Can't find declaration. Okay, so let's add it. So we want refresh, and we're going to get return nothing. But what we're going to do is we will need let me see. Is Jules still here? I don't know. He can't type. I'm guessing he is. Actually, I can check the list. I have a question for you actually, Jewel. Actually, a question for everybody, to be honest. I'm quite interested in if anyone has any passive incomes from any side projects. So, Jewel, do you have any projects on the side that you make some money from? Like kind of a passive income. It's quite interesting to see how people what people do and what people have. It's really interesting. I have a friend of mine who I worked with many years ago. And he's got, I don't know, maybe half a dozen to a dozen projects that all make him a year, probably, I don't know, about 4 or 5k, and they add up, and now he's been making about kind of 40, 50k from not doing very much. They're just ticking over the projects he's built over the last decade. And he's not adding more features to it, he's not improving it, because it's just kind of plateaued out and he's on to the next project. But it is quite interesting how he's achieved that. And a lot of it, he says, is just by accident. He's done something that he felt like. One of them was for his tennis club. So he was at a tennis club and he wanted it so that they could track who they're playing, the results, the scores. And then it went from his club, it kind of exploded. Well, I say exploded in terms of a small scale. And then went to another tennis club when people moved house or moved to another tennis club. And he charged membership, I think, quite a nominal fee. But it's just, it's just added, I think, you know, he's making kind of about 10k a year or something on it, which is, I think that's his biggest earner, which is quite good. Yes. No, actually, I do not have, but I asked you because your idea is pretty great. Awesome, thank you, I really appreciate it. So yeah, I think it's a great idea too, but I'm a bit biased. Yeah, I'm hoping it takes off. I really do. I'm sure it might have to pivot a bit. So at the moment we have environments and their versions of what's been deployed and monitors. I've got loads of other ideas, but I have to see kind of what people want to see. So actually might, yeah, in the near future do a Q&A of everybody who's listening and see what people would be interested to see next. You know, would you want to see notifications? Would you want to be able to follow projects and get notified when a new version has been deployed? A bit like kind of social deployment. How much do you pay for hosting? Everything except serverless, because you don't have that much requests. Yeah. Serverless, yeah, I don't really pay for. DynamoDB, I don't pay for, again, because there's not much data or much requests, and that's why I put the TTL on, so that our data stays pretty limited. S3 for the UI and the SSL certificates and all the rest. I think with API gateway and all that sort of stuff, I think it adds up to be quite a lot. I think last month I was going to be billed 87p, but then because I made an Alexa app, every month Amazon give me $100 credit, and so I don't pay anything. So that's why I added the monitoring to every 30 minutes, because if that ever went out of my free tier on serverless, which it could do quite quickly, especially if people have multiple monitors and all the rest, for me to get to $100, to use $100 credit, it will be a long way away. So yeah. Vendra, is that an open Spruce project others host for themselves or whatever? Or does he do all the hosting? He does all the hosting himself. So he has a bit of kind of admin around that. His project isn't open source actually. His is not open source. But he wanted to make it, but he says the code he wrote like 8 years ago he was really embarrassed of, so that's why he hasn't made it open source. I think an open source project is something you offer support, but the person using it has to install it. Yeah, see, I disagree a bit, because people are probably happy to pay for the service, like what I'm doing with DashboardHub, that people can pay for the service if they want it private or through extra features and so on. But I still don't see why the code can't be open source. If they want to set it up and install it themselves, then go ahead, let them do it. I think that's such a small number of people that would want to do that. People probably pay the, whatever it is, £10 a month just for the convenience of someone else dealing with all the hosting. Stanzel, what's up in the big world? Hey, we've actually done some coding today. The Eddie show has actually been reduced. We've got quite a few people have come in and said hey, but with Jewel and Vendra both on the stream, I'm a bit nervous to do too much of an Eddie show, because they'll both kind of make me feel bad. So yeah, I've been focusing on some coding today. How's everything with you? What have you been up to? Private, what was I doing? Monitor service. I want to get a list of monitors. Monitor service. Then I've got the monitor service. We can say this dot monitor service dot find all, and we need the environment ID. So we can go this dot environment.id, and then we can subscribe, and we should get monitors, which will be a list of monitor. And then we'll want to save that to the class variable monitors. This monitors equals monitors. Okay, so that refresh now should actually work. Let me test it out. What have I missed? 5 minutes coding, 30 minutes talking. Hey, it hasn't even been that bad. The idea is really great to provide a free limited service. Yeah, the freemium model I think works really well. I know some places it kind of cripples them. So there were, I can't remember what projects recently, but a few of them closed and said everyone just wanted the free service and no one ever paid for it. So they ended up after 4 or 5 years taking it down. I think they left the code open source, people could install it themselves, but they didn't provide it as a service anymore. But stuff like GitHub and Travis, where they have their freemium model, I think works really, really well. To be honest, I'm feeling really well. Good, Stanzo, glad to hear it. It's Friday. Does that mean you're going to get lots of coding done this weekend? If you're feeling well, you're feeling strong, lots more coding, lots of open source coding. Joel, yeah, he's got too much work on today. Now you can do the edition. Oh, too much work done today. Yeah, got a lot more to do. That's why the hell chat is coming. Right. On that note, let me get down to what I was doing, which I've actually now forgotten. Oh, the refresh. So it's bringing new monitors. There are no new monitors, but if I hit refresh, that is working. So if I go back to the code and I rebuild it in production mode, if that passes, we'll push that up, get that built, raise a PR, get that deployed to test, and then we're golden for the whole monitor section. Then I know it needs some graphs and some fancy bits which we can add later, but later on, and then next we'll do probably not tonight, but I will probably over the weekend do I have two features left. Profile page, which is pretty straightforward, and what's the other one? I can check the milestone. Let's just go here. Releases. That's quite an important one. That's the core part of Dashboard Hub, is knowing what version is deployed to which environment. So that is quite important. Although my monitors should not have been a 3, it should have been a 5, and I think releases should have been a 3. So it kind of swings around in roundabouts at the end. Let's see if that was successful. 92%. Fingers crossed, fingers, toes, everything crossed. Shall I keep you in suspense? I'll show you the screens instead. Can you see it? It's just down there. No, you can't see it? Okay, back to code. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some exercises in programming in Java. Cool. Java's a really good place to start because then you understand the, I think the stronger kind of principles of programming. I think it's good for people to start in Java and then work their way to other languages, rather than starting in something like JavaScript and work their way to Java. It makes it a lot harder. That all passed, that all built successfully. So brilliant. Let's do this commit that I was doing. Have I lost my commit message? I think I have. So git commit. Actually, did I commit it already? I don't think I did. Oh, I did commit it. So this is another commit, which is just fixing that refresh monitors. It is issue 802, and it's going to be doing refresh monitor list button. No, not button, it's the whole thing. Okay. So now if we push that up, that can build, and while that's building, we can even start on the next issue, which is, we've got a few to pick from. Let's have a look. Oh, we can raise the PR as well. Let's raise this PR. New pull request, 802. It's quite a big one. I'm sure it's fine. And we'll say, let me copy the commit. There we go. So commit message here. And I want to close the issue automatically once it merges. We're going to close 802. I want to be really bad and not put a summary in. Okay. So let that build. And while that's building, let's open a new tab, and go to milestones. There we go. So we could do the profile page, or we could do the environment delete. We did a delete already today, so it should be quite straightforward to do. So let's do an environment delete. I think we can get that out of the way. Let me drag that up a bit more. Let's get that done. Okay. Oh, I better catch up on the chat. Java is a really good place to start. Easy to move to Microsoft cutting edge technology. Wow, tool. Do Microsoft pay you? Mum's spaghetti code. Nice. Good name. I use Python. Do you use Python? I personally don't use Python. I played with it a little bit, and I did actually work at a project. Well, one of my clients, they had one of their small projects in Python, and so I got a bit of exposure to that. But yeah, it's not something I've done really. I know it's quite popular at universities now, and you know, a lot of systems applications as well. And data science actually is a big, very popular in data science. Stanzel, I know something in it, but I wanted to learn how to load a file and something more. We'll see. Yeah, just keep learning, keep moving forward. If you don't move forward, you're moving backwards, because technology is moving forward and so is everybody else. So yeah, just keep moving forward. Try and learn something small every day, and definitely add up to be a lot. But yeah, Java's a good one, Python's a good one. There's lots of good languages out there. There's lots of good ones to choose from. Upgrade to Angular 6. Python is big for AI and data. Yeah, I am on the RC of Angular 6. I want to hold fire for the moment. Let me get a working application, and then I'll do the upgrade. So let me bring the mouse back here, and let's get rid of this. Let's have a look. Right. That needs about 5 minutes to build, I think, on the PR. So we'll leave that building. What we'll do in the meantime is the delete of the environment. Let me minimize all this. So I have, if I bring up the Chrome, we have, let's go back to my environments. I've only got one. The delete is there, but it's disabled, so we just need to enable that and get that working. Oh, why is it not running? Oh, I stopped it. That would make sense. Why is it running? Let me just load that up again. Okay, well, I'm not going to show you that. Let me bring my screens back up. Stanzel, I think Python is getting more and more popular. Yeah, I think Python is getting quite popular. Venzo, it's like chasing your tail. You know I'm playing with you. Get past your June event, don't worry about underlying tech again. Yeah, exactly. Don't distract me. Venza and Jewel, you're both terrible. Okay, that's built successfully. So if I go back to screens and refresh this, looking good. Okay, so delete. Let's delete. Actually, let's just make a new environment. I don't want to delete that one. Stream environment, and we'll make a new one, which we'll say is a build only, like a library. And let's say this one is to delete. Submit. Go back to the list. Okay, so we want to delete this top one here. Okay, let's go back to the code. Right, we are on the environment list page. It will be on the private one, and we have there's the add, there's refresh. Where's the delete? Oh no, it's not on the environment list, it's on the environment view. So if I go to view and go to private, it will be here. Let me remove the terminal, get a bit more real estate. The delete is here, the first one, disabled true. So let's remove the disabled. It's got a tooltip. Let's add a click. So if we say click, it's going to be delete. And then let's go to TypeScript file. Stop looking at the chat, then you can code more. I know, but it's about social coding, right? So it's good to kind of see the chat and see what people are up to and see what's going on. This is why I think it's good for 2 people to stream. I think I need you kind of in the corner. You can help with the chat and actually help with some coding as well. That's a giant TV. What do you use it for? So if I use this is distraction again. This is the Eddie show. So if I go back to this and I turn it on, grab the remote. I usually use it for either an extra screen if I'm pairing with someone and I don't want to use my 3 screens below. I'll use the one above, or I'll use it for watching YouTube or Twitch. You know, who's on Twitch at the moment? So if I go across to followed channels, who have we got? Suxy's streaming at the moment. That's why she's not in the chat channel with us. But if I go to all, you can see all the ones that I follow. They're all techie coding ones. So yeah, that's what I use the big screen for usually. Or you know, if taking a break, I have a movie on. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, where were we? On the big TV, it's for late night shows he does. Thanks, Vendra. Oh, I got a follow. Mitek SC, thanks for the follow. Awesome, great to have you here. Vendra will answer us, don't worry. Yeah, good call, Stanzel. Oh, but Vendra's coding too. You just like winding me up. So you want to get ahead by distracting me, right? I see. So you want to work on your project and let me fall a bit behind on mine. I see. Okay. Mum's spaghetti code. Do you have leisure and work in the same room? Well, I'd have a family room and a lounge as well, but yeah, the tech in there isn't that great. You know, with the family kind of breaking the TV, they don't have. I don't put a 4K TV in the family room. It's just my previous TV. So in a couple of years, when I change my big screen above, I will move this one to the family room and get a 10K TV or whatever they bring out. So yeah, the other rooms in the house get my second-hand stuff. But yeah, this is my office, and I should actually try and put the camera in front on the bigger part, so you can kind of see. You can see my geeky DashboardHub cushion in the background, GitHub cushion, and my whiteboard wall on the right. But I'm not going to go into that because that's a bit of a distraction. But sure, I'll answer the questions on life, coding, or how to get you into maximum trouble. Venzo, you're always getting me into trouble. Stanzel, that's cool, thanks. George, I'm praising Microsoft so much. You thought they pay me. Yeah, but people say that to me about Apple as well. Although I have been praising Apple a bit less. Not because they've been paying me less, but because, yeah, it's not so great. Although the iMac Pro is freaking awesome. Best bit of kit I ever bought. Microsoft is great. Microsoft is the future. Venzra, is that really you? The long distance future, when they start over again. Okay, that's brilliant. That was good. Mum's spaghetti code. That's a long name, but quite funny. I like the family room gets the hand downs. It does, absolutely. Absolutely. They'll break it, you know, they'll touch the screen and all the rest. When the family come into my office, they're not allowed past the couch. So if you look back there, they're not allowed past the couch because they'll just like touch the screen. It's like, why'd you have touched the screen? Just tell me what you're talking about. I'm gonna kind of point and bang the screen. When does the stream end? Oh, you're bored of me already? Okay, I should be finishing soon. I'll probably do the delete on the environment now, which won't take very long. Merge the PR, unless anybody wants to review it. And then once it deploys to test, I'll probably call it a day. A good question, let's boot him off. Normally about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah, I try not to do, if I do an hour, I find it's a bit rushed. If I do more than 2 hours, then I kind of get a bit tired. So yeah, about 2 hours. Although I have done, I think, a 2.5 one before, and I think I was really mumbling and flaking at the end. So we will see how we get on. I need to go now, but I'll be here in an hour and a half maybe. Oh, thanks, Stanzel. Don't worry. I'm gonna try and I'll be streaming back on Monday. I might do some ad hoc streaming over the weekend. I'm not sure. It depends on the family. But thanks for popping in and saying hey. Join our Discord. The link is below. And if you want to chat between streams, let's do that. Let's talk tech between streams. Oh, you're not bored. Good to hear. Good to hear. Things are just picking up now, so make sure to watch what you miss. Things are picking up. What with kind of winding me up and saying the Eddie show. Right. On that note, I am actually going to do some coding. So, but Stanzel will. I'll catch you later on, or probably over the weekend on Monday. So we're going to say delete. Again, it's going to return a void, and we want to go before Jules says anything. I want to move this to the line below. I know he'll catch me out on that. That is easy to read. So I do prefer that. That's why pair programming is so good and open source is so good, because pair programming you can pick up on it, but open source you can kind of just make the change. And I still see that as a contribution. So if anyone sees any long lines that are more easily read on multiple lines, please send me a pull request. If you need help with a pull request, let me know. But do have a look and yeah, make improvements, definitely. Okay, so we're saying this is the environment service. I wonder if we have the delete already. Delete by ID, okay. Environment.id. And then we'll want to subscribe. What we're going to want to do afterwards, we'll go back to the environment list, I think. What do we get back actually from this? We get an environment back, which I think is wrong. We'll put that to avoid. We'll put that to avoid. I don't want to get anything back from it. And then down here, I will say don't want anything, but we want to redirect, which will be this route.navigate. One. I always forget these ones. Private router. Which one? Rendra? Anyone? I'll look it up. I cannot remember. I can't look it up. I was just doing it on monitors, wasn't I? View. Oh, it's just router. It's just router. Okay, cool. Router. There we go. Comma. And then we can go this router.navigate, and we're going to go back to the private list, which I can't remember what the URL is. It's pretty bad. Environments list. Okay. So it's going to be environment list. Let's see if that delete works. Let's go to Chrome, watch it rebuild. I don't watch when you code, so I missed that. Thanks, Vendra, no problem. You carry on with your own project. I know you've got the same deadline as me, the 13th of June. We're both taking our projects to two different events. So you know, you focus on your coding, but you know, thanks for joining us. So that's cool. Really appreciate it. You had one job, Vendra. Listen to Mum's spaghetti code. I pick up my pink slip. Okay, so this is the one to delete. This one to delete. So let's see. So delete environment. Let's have a go. Delete. Nothing happened. Delete. Something happened, but it broke. What happened that time? Got a 404. So okay, so the delete actually did work. I think. Let's do another one. Let's see what happened there. My environments, add. What doesn't really matter what one we choose, but build only. Delete me one. Actually, I want to do a couple of these. Go back to my list. I want to do delete me two. And so if I hit delete, let me clear all this. And if I go delete, oh, it does work. Don't know what happened there. So it sent a delete. That's options. Delete, did delete it. Nothing came back in return. Perfect. Made the list, and then it was missed, and then it was disappeared. So if I go delete, all looks good. Any questions? Any thoughts? Did I miss anything? But the delete seems fine. Seems great. Okay. Let's commit and push that. So let's see if CI is finished yet. Aha, my branch is successful. So let's merge this into test branch I can deploy out. Well, actually, should I be naughty and just add the delete to here, which is really bad. You shouldn't do this. But just for the save time, I want to add this. I don't think we changed too much. So if I do a diff, we didn't really change that much. So yeah, we can add it. If I do git commit, it's a feature. It's environment delete, and it's the number of this is, I don't know, but I will find out. 804. So it's 804 and delete environment. So I commit that. If I push that up, it will need to rebuild again, so we can do the eddy show while it's rebuilding. I know you're all laughing now. I've just pushed that, so if I bring up the PR, you'll see it'll be rebuilding again, and I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to say it also closes 804, so it can close that ticket once we merge it. So let it build now. All is good. What did I miss on the chat? Who's taking the mic? Who's making fun of me? That sounds like something for the Late Show. Yeah, keep that stuff, on what you do on your show is your business. I don't mind, but there'll be none of that on my show. Eddie's coded so much today, something weird has happened. But if you notice, I've coded a lot today, but the concurrent viewers are much less. So does nobody want to watch me code? Well, not nobody, but do less people want to watch me code? But I have done a lot more coding today. You all inspired me and encouraged me to do more coding by taking the piss out of the Eddie show, but it has worked. A bit of peer pressure is maybe healthy. What have I missed? He's on his A game this evening. I don't feel like I'm on my A game. 3 commits. Yeah, that's true. But it's all coming together. Come on, CI, build faster. Build CI, merge it in. It will deploy to test. And then these 2 tickets will be closed. What do we have next? Let's have a look. So monitors will get closed. Deleted will get closed. We have releases, but I'll probably do that tomorrow. It's a bit bigger. Manual deploy has to come after releases. We have profile page, which is quite an easy thing to do, but I might do that tomorrow. I'm getting a bit tired now. And then I've got the auth JWT issue. And then Joule, I'm going to be looking at, once I've done that up to here, I can get that deployed into production. And then I can start looking at the project CLI commands for Windows. I don't think that should be too hard to do. And the environment stuff is new features, so I might actually hide that off the UI for the moment, and see if I get time to do that. And if I don't, I'll leave that out till after the event. Well, I do need to add Gitter to the UI though. I think that would be useful. I don't know. I'll leave that down here for now. Let me go back to how the build's going. We can let's open Travis and have a look. If I go to the build, how many minutes is it in? So it takes about 6 minutes-ish, about 5 minutes, because this one was a bit less. I had a failure, I suppose. We're 2 minutes in, so you got to hear me ramble for another few more minutes. Okay, I'll let you have some peace for a bit, going to grab some food. Cool. Enjoy dinner, catch you in a bit. Mum Spaghetti's code, use Google's AI assistant to interact with us. That sounds like an interesting project actually. Could have it so, yeah, could reply to some questions and some answers. A bit like kind of Alexa, but for typing. Kind of the whole natural language processing stuff. There's a lot of that at Web Summit last year from AWS. So that's pretty cool. So what's everyone up to this weekend? So now I've stopped coding, the numbers have gone from like 4 or 5 concurrent viewers to 9. Do people not want to see me code? But yeah, what's everyone up to this weekend? I hope you are going to be open source coding. How's my GitHub account looking? Does anyone want me to look at their open source project while we're waiting for the CI to build? So we're waiting for this CI to build. Got a few minutes. I can give you some tips on your open source project to make the open sourceness, or I can maybe submit a PR for you. It'll probably be a silly one, but it's good to create a bit of activity on your project. So today I have 8 contributions. When I merge the PR, I think it'll increase a bit more. That's pretty good, not bad. Spectra Speed. Hey, good to have you with us. There's Siri for that. I don't even use Siri. I use Alexa, but I don't use Siri. That's the first thing I disable on all my Apple products. I don't know why. It just, yeah, I can't see a use for Siri that much. Google's latest AI. It's freaky. No, I haven't. Is there like a YouTube video on it we can watch? But yeah, this weekend, so what's everyone up to? I haven't heard about anyone doing any coding this weekend. Don't make me cry, people. I hope someone's going to do some open source coding this weekend, even if it's in .NET Dual. As long as it's open source, I don't mind. It could be in Perl, for I care, or what's even older than that, Fortran. Yeah, it's good to just kind of get some open source creativity going. So yeah, okay, how is it? 4 minutes 30, so you kind of hear me ramble for another minute and a half. No open source projects you want me to look at? That's kind of like, you know, Spectra Speed, thanks for the follow. Good to have you here. Tell us a bit about yourself. What's, you know, what's your background? You know, what languages? Are you getting into tech? Are you a seasoned developer? What tech do you use? Or are you just here for the Eddie show to hear me ramble between CI builds? So yeah, this will build about 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes. It's almost done. And then once I merge it, it will take a bit longer to build again, because it will build again, and it will also take an extra 5 minutes to deploy it out to AWS, S3, and serverless. Serverless is pretty quick to deploy. DynamoDB as well. The bit an S3 is very quick. The bit that takes the longest is actually clearing the CloudFront cache, which is distributed around the world. That's what I have the SSL cert tied to. So it's all automated. So when I merge into the v09 branch, it will just happen automatically, but it takes about 10-11 minutes. If we look down this list, all the where's my mouse? Here it is. All the branches take around 5 minutes, give or take one. But the ones that are actually on v09, which will deploy to test, take a bit longer. So you've got one there, we've got one here. And this one's obviously a shorter one because it's just a branch. But the good thing is the v09 is my test, well, not my test branch, it's my stable, but it deploys to the test environment, and then my master, it deploys to production. But everything between v09 branch and master, in terms of the deployment process, infrastructure is all identical, so I don't get any surprises when I go into production. People don't like open source. Don't say that, Jewel. Do you want to see a grown man cry on a stream? Seriously, come on. Ah, the CI just passed. It just went green. I'm going to go to the PR. Oh, there might be still one. Oh, it passed. No one's going to review it because it's quite a big one. So I'm just going to hit merge. This is going into v09. Boom. Don't blow up. Done. Delete the branch. Okay, so now if I refresh this, those two issues will have automatically closed, and it's going to be building again, and this will do the deployment, and then we'll be able to see it deployed in test. But we don't have to wait for that, that's fine. Spectra Speed. Background is 10 plus years in help desk support, just starting transition over to learning dev. Cool. Very fresh, working on basics at the moment, enjoying watching people code while I work. Awesome, sounds good. I mean, I've been doing coding for over 10 years, probably almost closer to 15, and I'm still learning, and I still enjoy watching people code while I code as well. So it's good. So you've got the right attitude. I think you'll make a great dev. So definitely keep it up, stick with it, try and learn a bit every day, and don't listen to Jewel. Open source rocks. And it's a really good CV as well. The amount of work I get through my open source work on GitHub is phenomenal. I've never got anything from LinkedIn. Go figure. Well, actually, no, it's pretty obvious, right? If you can see someone's code and so on, then that's great. If you see LinkedIn, which is like your CV, is that you can write any bullshit you want on there. So it makes sense. Mum's spaghetti code, can I post a link? Yeah, you can. You'll need to put Nightbot will cry and complain. So just put a space between the dot. I think it determines a URL by having a dot. So just put a space before and after the dot, and I can copy and paste it, and then I'll remove the spaces. Jewel, why don't you do talk show with one of your guests, one of your friends? Yeah, I should actually. I've got a few lined up. I've got a friend of mine who did, Beverly. She did a presentation last week at Reading on hiring interns and how to get interns on board, and I didn't see the talk, so I don't know the details. But I was quite keen to have her do her, I think it was a lightning talk, about 15 minutes, to do the presentation, the talk, and then we could ask her questions and have a chat, because I've got 2 interns starting in a couple of weeks, so I'm quite keen to empower them and get them to have the kind of best experience they can. I really want Dashboard Hub to be kind of the best place you can work. So yes, I'm keen to learn from her, but you're right, I should get some other people. So I've got other people who are, and what would you like to see? Well, I did start, actually, funny enough, if I go to GitHub Twitch Coders, I did start, not Warp Blaster, that's our game, which we should get back to. But down here, I did create an issue, talk show discussion with other people. Be interested to know. So there was Jewel, I've marked you down, this is your name by the way, for PWAs, because I know you're an expert in that and you love it. But starting in tech, I thought, I haven't asked Evie Brink, who was on here earlier, but if you'd like to do, and actually I can put Spectra Speed as well, potentially, if you're happy for that as well. CMC A-Boy, I can't pronounce that. CMC, thanks for the follow and thanks for joining. I'm just going to put, this is just for my notes really, so don't feel that you have to do this. But I thought, get starting in tech, be good to have these people maybe talk a bit more about their experiences, what's been good, what's been bad, what would they like to see improved for the next sort of people. So no matter where you are in your career, even if you're only a month in, there's somebody who's only a day in, so there's always someone else who can learn from your experience. So I think it's always good to give forward. And then I've got so Vendra, or Andrew, or Vendra as you know him, who's doing his startup as well, and I've got Jeremy as well, who's doing a startup in South Africa, who I worked with at various places in London as well. He's now moved back to South Africa. But on startups, maybe interesting to the challenges that we've had. We could maybe have a bit of a kind of a panel discussion on how our startups have gone. I know Jeremy had a really good start. I think he's having a bit of a tough time now. I haven't caught up with him recently, so I don't know the full details, but it's really good to learn from other people's experiences and so forth. So could do that. 3 minutes in, okay. YouTube, 1 minute 10 seconds. Watch until 2 minute 50. Okay. Is it dodgy? Can I open it on the screen now? Jewel. Open source is great, but often it doesn't bring any money, so open source is the best as a side project if you're working full time. Yes and no. I know what you're saying. However, it can get you your next job, or a better job. Your next job, which is your next job is always better because you wouldn't change otherwise. So it can bring you money indirectly, even if you don't start a service or you don't charge for anything. I really believe all my great clients and great projects and contracts that I've got have been from my open source projects indirectly. Whereas LinkedIn, I'd delete my LinkedIn account like that because it's beyond useless. Actually, it's more than useless because I get spammed by recruiters 100 times a day with irrelevant things that aren't even related to a fraction of what I do. Yeah, whereas GitHub, that's where I get all my kind of work from. And networking with people I've networked, like the great people that I hear today. I'm sure one day I might give you some work, and you all might give me some work, and it's the network that's the important side. And I think GitHub really helps with that. Whereas LinkedIn, it's just kind of like spam in. It's just literally a spam network. CMC, what's your favorite language? I'm a bit, what's the word? I change quite often. So I originally started off for my first kind of 8 years was PHP. I hated Java going back kind of 20 years or so. I hated Java and C++ from uni. I think they taught it really badly. So I did PHP, And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I was getting into Java and Spring Boot and really enjoyed that. I still love Java as a language. And in the last, I think 2 or 3 years now, I've been doing full-stack JavaScript. And I'm really enjoying that with TypeScript as well. One of the things I'd like to do is probably move my serverless Node backend into TypeScript. I won't do that just yet, but yeah, TypeScript is really, really nice. So I am enjoying that. Definitely. If I apply for your company, I won't be hired, definitely. Why do you say that? Why do you say that? Okay, how's my build going? 6 minutes 20, we're getting there. Okay, so it's kind of coming up to 7:15 UK time. So I'm wearing my Fosdem hoodie, by the way, not a DashboardHub one today. But as I'm flaking, I'm probably going to call it a day in a few minutes. But if you want to continue the conversation between streams, do join the Discord below, and we can continue the chats between streams. I will be streaming again on Monday, similar sort of time, 5:30, not at the same time, 5:30 UK time. That's BST. I might stream over the weekend, but that will be more kind of ad hoc. So we'll see how we get on. I do want to get this weekend actually a camera, because at the moment I'm using the iMac Pro kind of built-in camera. But I want to actually get a digital SLR to stream with. So I think that will show my glasses off better, my tan that I got from Thailand over the last couple of weeks. So I'm thinking of getting a digital SLR. But unfortunately, if I do that, I don't know if you could better see, but I want to put it up here, and there's no space. So I'm gonna have to try this 49-inch 4K screen. I'm gonna have to try and kind of nudge it up about 10 centimeters so I can have a camera and a lens kind of sticking through. So it's gonna kind of be interesting. I might better put it off to the side here, but then you're kind of, I don't know. My side profile is not my good look, so I don't know. We'll see and have a think. As you're looking at my setup, any ideas of where I can put things? Well, you know what? You can just put the camera behind me. I don't think you even want to see my face, right? Just camera behind me. Done. Let me catch up on the chat. SpectraSeed, I would love to upgrade to the iMac Pro. Currently running a Mac Pro with 4 Thunderbolt displays. Nice, 4 Thunderbolt displays. That's pretty cool though. That is very cool. iMac Pro is the best thing I've bought ever, but it's the most expensive thing as well. Hey Yarrick, or JD as your initials on the chat. Glad you finally made it, but you came at the end of the stream. We've done about almost 2 hours. You can see my you can't see on screens, but you can see my build is building, and it should be deploying out. If I go into it now, I think the build part has been successful. Actually, I can even check on DashboardHub. I don't know why I'm not even showing. This would be perfect. So if I switch to test environment, which I'm deploying to at the moment, you will see, so here we go, DashboardHub test, which we're deploying to. You can see the progress bar is 3/4, it's just here, it's behind the chat, so you probably can't see it very well. I'm going to make this a bit smaller. Does that work? I'll make it smaller. There we go. So you can see it is 3/4 of the way, so it has a quarter is built, half is built, and now it's deploying, and so yeah, it's almost done. You can see I've had 4.6k of pings on the test environment, so it's pretty cool. So at the moment I've got to keep refreshing. I haven't got WebSockets working yet, so it pushes to the UI to update. That is on the list of things I need to do. Upgrade to a PC. That's my mean, angry face, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. Not my constipated face. I have a PC for gaming, Mac Pro, MacBook Pro for everything else. Nice. So yeah, so it is, I hit refresh again, see, updated 2 minutes ago, nothing's changing, so CI is still going. But yeah, when I push with real-time data to the UI, it'll be much better. And then you can see kind of multiple projects, or especially if you're using microservices and you've got different things deploying at different times, you can then one of the other tasks I've got is to create projects, and then you can select the environment you want in that project, and then you can see them building. So I should just noticing this, I should actually write what stage it's in, because we know the type is build and deploy, but it'd be nice to know what state it's in actually. Let's do that now while CI is building. So if I remove that, CI is still building. So let me go back to this, and let's remove that while it's still building. Let's do that now as a feature. We should actually do this correctly. Let's raise an issue, new issue, and it's going to be. I've already forgotten what it was. That's how tired I am. Environment list to display current state text. Okay, I'll assign it to myself. And I think we've got this information already, so I'm going to give it as a 1 pointer, and it's going to be on the UI stack. So now we've done that and created it. Let's switch back to this. Let's go back to the default branch, which is v09. And if I pull down what I merged in, then we can create a new branch. Who needs WebSockets? Just poll every second. Mum Spaghetti's code. I'm expecting comments like that from Jewel, but from you I expected more. No, I think it's... yeah, in the short term I might have to poll like every 30 seconds, but I'm full dirty. I would love to use Amazon. So AWS has the IoT service that apparently is quite easy to subscribe to. So I'm quite keen to do that, but I just got to figure out how to do the security side of it as well. What stage it is and WebSockets to see real-time state. Yeah, exactly, Joel. Sounds good. I'll definitely make it earlier for next time. Looks pretty cool. Yarrick, thanks for your kind words. Yeah, I think I'm getting better at my streaming. It's found it quite hard at the beginning, but I think I'm getting better. So everyone's keeping me on my toes. Andrew was here earlier, or Vendra, as people know him as, and he was keeping me on my toes, making sure I didn't talk too much and yeah, turn it into the Eddie show. So let's have a look. Let's bring that up. What have we got? Let's close some of these. Right, so on the environment list, on public and private, so this is actually shared on both, we have this. Let me close the terminal. In the list here, we have environment type, but it'd be nice to know what state it's in. I think in the latest release, we know what state it's in. So let's go back to Chrome, and let's have a look. If I go back to local, make this bit bigger again. I just log in. While you have that opinion of me, I never give bad advice. No, you don't give bad advice. You're giving me some very good pointers, actually. I do really appreciate it. But you do try to wind me up and trick me. Why said upgrade to a PC? Yeah, I can't answer that. Upgrade to a PC, it sounds like downgrading. I'm not trying to start playing more. Right, okay. So this type, I think it's quite good to have that type, but I think it's more important to have what state it's at. If I go back to this and refresh, you can just see, oh, I should make it a bit smaller. You can see that now 1 minute ago, this is completed. You can see the progress is completed. But I would like to have it so we see the state. Spectre Speed, thanks for subscribing. That's awesome. I'm trying to think. A follow is when someone follows you. A subscribe is when you they subscribe to you on a monthly basis. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I think you're like my 4th subscriber, so I really appreciate it. You're in the top 5. I don't think I've seen that one pop up since. I can get. Alec has a project with an open source project that he does on his stream with all the events, and I actually really need that because some things have popped up earlier, and I was saying thank you for the follow, but it might have been a subscribe. I don't actually know. So apologies if anyone subscribed and I didn't thank them. So where can we put this? I don't want to have another column here, I don't think, because on a mobile device, you can see these disappear. I've got responsive design, and then it kind of drops into that. But I don't want to add another kind of column to that. I don't know if you can see it changing. You can see that the two of them disappear. And then if I make it slightly bigger, it reappears. So I suppose I could put it under the type. Keep it nice and simple. Oh yes, so it appears in the chat. So Spectra Speed, thank you for the subscription, for the subscribe. Awesome. I want to put it under the type, just under here. Let's do that. Okay, let's have a look. How's the video and the audio, by the way? I keep getting notifications saying internet keeps dropping out, but it might just be on the Twitch app that I'm using for the chat on the side. Right, okay, let's just put it under there. Let's do this. So let's get rid of Chrome. So we have the type. So under the type, let's put, or even above the type, you know what? Let's put a H3, and let's find out, actually I want to find out what it is, because it will be latest release. And what do we have on there? Release, created, state. Oh, we do have state. We do. That might actually work. I meant to check in Chrome what data we had coming back. Let's have a look. So environments, in the preview, we have latest. This hasn't got our latest release, so let's forget that one. This one does have a latest release, and it does have the state, finish deploy. So I probably want to have it so it's more readable, friendly, but for now I can just do that. So you can see this one says finish deploy. This one's starting deploy, but that's just a mock data. So that's just an example. And the others haven't got one. So, because there isn't one, they haven't got a state. So how does that look? I might just leave that for now. I know it's not nice, finish deploy. It should be kind of written in English, 2 words. I'll probably need some object where I can map it to, but leave that for now. That's pretty good. How's CI going now? Let's have a look. Finished. It deployed to test. Awesome. Let's just do one more PR, and then we will call it a day, and it would have been 2 hours. Video audio is great. Cool, thanks Joel. I really appreciate for just clarifying that. That's cool. I wasn't sure, because yeah, my chat keeps coming up with reconnect in 10 seconds and it counts down. What's your opinion on Angular elements? When you say Angular elements, is this something new in version 6? Because I've got a lot of learning and reading up to do on Angular on version 6 for Angular. And while you're letting me know about that, let me just create this PR. So this is 854. Let's bring up terminal. So git checkout B issue 854. Okay, and just do a diff, just have a look. Looks fine. If I just do a commit on that. I'm actually going to show you a Twitter poll I did recently as well, if people haven't seen it. Feature is going to be environments, and it's going to be 854. Not 804, 854. Show environment state on latest state on list. Okay, let's commit that. Let's push that up. 854. Let's create a PR for that. Pull request new 854. Very small pull request. And I say closes 854. Create. Okay, cool. That's building. Okay, awesome. Oh, I was doing that and I wasn't showing my PR that I was creating it. But there you go. I've created and it's building. I think it's probably a good place to stop for today. Let me catch up on the chat. Vendra, okay, how's it looking? I see a CI screen, so some coding has been done. Yes, and I was actually also, so what I added, let me show you what I added, was now you have the state. Okay, it's not very user-friendly, the name, but I have the latest state that it's in. So when we were looking at it on, if I switch to the test environment, and if I make it a bit smaller, because it's under the chat. So you had the progress bar was about 3/4 when it was deploying to test, but I knew what state it was in, but I guess people wouldn't know because they don't know the actual steps of all of them. So I thought I'd put the name under there. So if I go back to the local environment, okay, it's hidden it because it's responsive, so make it a bit bigger. There you go, it reappears. I've put it in there. I need to make it more user-friendly, but for now, I'm just going to leave it as the raw information. Probably build-deploy, and to the actual environment type, I need to make more user-friendly, and the latest state more user-friendly. But I'll do that later on. And so that is building at the moment. So if we go to builds. And then once it's built, I'll merge in the PR and it'll deploy to test and it will trigger it to DashboardHub, which will be pretty cool. So I have done some work. Yeah, it's new in Angular 6. Okay, cool. So Venza might know a bit more about this. He has been following Angular 6 a lot more than me. So Venza, if you just joined and you didn't leave it open, you wouldn't see the previous chat. But Jewel was asking about Angular elements in version 6. And then yeah, I'm gonna start kind of winding down my stream. I think I have said that twice already. I don't think we need to wait for the CI to build. We all know when something's automated, it's repeatable, it's auditable, and we know it's gonna work. So I don't need to watch it. I need to go probably have dinner. When it's come back when it's green, hit merge, then it will run again and because it's just building at the moment, it will actually run and deploy to this test. So that's cool. And then if I show you my other plans, which is here. If I go back to milestone, so we've just done this one. I'll do this one hopefully over the weekend. And yeah, hopefully get a bit more done. I must get down to, have to get down to here within the next 2 weeks, which I think is definitely possible, probably next week. And then I would like to do the grouping by environment in a project and some other bits and pieces down here as well. So yeah, we're getting there. It's almost ready to be moved on to production. I'm gonna switch back to screens. Oh, screensaver's on the big one. I've not used Angular elements. It's more about smaller chunks of Angular to break up the framework. Okay, I'll have to have a bit more of a read on it and see. More about building elements that you can share easily. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I need to have a look and see. There's lots of cool stuff. I think Angular's done some awesome stuff, and they're doing even more. So it's very cool. But yeah, no one is. Anyone streaming online at the moment? I can watch while I'm having my dinner. Online only. Just Sexy, but she's not. What do you call it? Not coding. So I want to watch some code. Spectre speed, hard drives behind your screens, your backup solution. Oh, my backup's a bit probably OTT. So yeah, I've got some here, which I'll explain, and I have some elsewhere and off-site as well. But I do want to move these into my cupboard. So I really want to clean desk as much as possible. So I want to move these. So I have got the one on the right is got 2 drives. There's one in the front and one behind. So it's RAID, but I didn't want a RAID case. Because they have their own encryption, so if the case ever breaks, you can't decrypt it, and all sorts of things. So I'm running The caddy underneath that's holding the disks doesn't do anything apart from mount it on the computer. So I'm running both of those in mirrored RAID, so RAID 1, sorry, and they're encrypted drives as well. So I've encrypted them. On the right, and then on the left, the same again, exactly the same. So there's two different things. I had everything on one kind of RAID array before, but I ran out of space because there's 3 terabytes and 3 terabytes on this one, which gives you 6, but as it's mirrored, it's only giving 3 terabytes. And then I've got the 4 terabyte ones on the right where I put my media. So the pictures I take, the videos I take of events and so forth. And then I have a 5 terabyte, just a standalone disk here, which I'm using as my time machine. And then with the Apple Wi-Fi, I can't remember what it's called, but I have a 3 terabyte in there, which is also for time machine. But I also run, what's it called? It's probably up here, I can see it. Here we go. Backblaze, which is like Dropbox, but for professionals. So Backblaze is very similar to Dropbox, but does your entire hard disk, and it's fully encrypted. So this is actually the same price, very similar price to Dropbox, and it's unlimited space, which I thought was awesome. And you can give them do the SSH encryption, so SSL encryption. Whatever it is, you know, when you do SSH, you do your keys. So I've given them, so they cannot decrypt my data, whereas with Dropbox, in the new terms and conditions, they said they've got access to your data just in case you need help. So I was like, no way. So someone recommended Backblaze. And the other cool thing they do, because I travel a lot for events and all the rest, if you ever need your data from Backblaze, they will courier within 24 hours to anywhere in the world a hard disk with your data on it. I thought that's pretty cool. And what they do is they bill you £200, but you got a month to return the disk. And if you return the disk, they refund you 180, so it costs you 20 quid. And mine's encrypted, so if anyone ever gets that disk, they can't do anything with it anyway, because my data is encrypted. So it's pretty cool. Venza, yeah, too focused on getting my own stuff done right now. I need to get that out the door and get back up on reading on what's version 6. Yeah, Venza, you're really good at focusing on your work. You are moving a lot of it forward. Let's let's open. I had it open up somewhere. Let's have a look. So if I come back to my screens and go back to Safari, this is the website. But I did have the. Where do I have it? It's probably in my other browser. 1 second. Here we go. Too many windows, too many screens, and each screen's got too many windows. Venza, what's the link? Let's have a look. We can give a quick demo. Spectra, time capsule. Yes, thank you very much. Time capsule behind the TV in the family room for the Wi-Fi for the house, and that's got a time machine, but for everybody. So I only get a small portion of that 3 terabytes. So the 5 terabytes one here is my main time machine sort of backup. I use Treesori for Encryptor Cloud myself. Okay, I don't know that one. I'll have to look it up and see. EV Brink, still going. Yeah, I'm flaking now actually. I'm flaking and mumbling and not doing so well. I don't know why I'm continuing, but the chat was going quite good, so I thought I'd continue a bit more, and I was waiting for... It built. Brilliant. So CI is happy with that change we made. So now let's merge that pull request. And then CI will rebuild again, but it will actually deploy it. So delete that branch. It would have closed that issue. So that issue would have been closed now. If we go back to this, you can see it says closed. And we can go back to the milestone so we can see what we do next. You'll see CI is building. And if I bring up Chrome, where I've got the test environment, if I refresh this, when it kicks off, when CI properly kicks off, we'll see the DashboardHub test should go back, the blue progress bar on the bottom should go back to the beginning. This is why we need WebSockets for real-time data rather than me hitting the little refresh button. I know it's not doing a full page refresh, but it's still reloading data in the background, which is not as nice. Vendor, you can do another hour. I'm good. So Vendor, what's your link? Is it admin? What's it, admin? Vendor? This is dashboard for DashboardHub. Cool. So this is my shop on Vendor's product. So I don't know what to show, Vendor. You've done lots of stuff. You've got the shop front, which looks pretty cool. And then this is the admin side. I'm probably not going to do your product any justice. So I'll apologize now in advance. I realize I'm not even showing it. It's behind. No one told me. So here we go. This is Vendor's admin site. Categories, all products. That's not the old logo, that's the current logo. So you can add a product. It's got the markdown, I think. So hello, this is a test. Bold. Can't spell bold. Oh, italic because it's one of them. So if I do two, it's bold. Not sure about the H1. I think you disabled the H1. Yeah, you haven't got it down here as well. Okay, let me just 1 second go back to Chrome. If I refresh the data, I thought it was building. Maybe not. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Let me go on to CI. 1 minute. Oh, maybe it's just initializing the container still. Let me have a look. Container stuff. Yeah, it's still doing all the container stuff. So it hasn't hasn't done the first step of our CI part. Might be doing it now. So let me have a look. If I switch back to Chrome. No. I might need to make the step a bit sooner. If it's not happening before, I'm trying to see where it happens. I have to check. So if I go back to here was doing all the container stuff, but now it's doing this. It should have run. Let me check the code. Let's have a look. Where does it do it? So if I go to the CI, so if I go to Travis CI, so before install, it does all this. So where does it do all the notifications for DashboardHub? Make install local, make UI build. Okay, so now if we go to the make file, let me close this terminal on this side. And if I open the make file, let's have a look. So here we go. So, but the start build happens on the install. Okay, and then the install is here, so it's quite near the beginning. But we've got the before install. Okay, so it does this first, so I don't include all the container stuff, which makes sense. Okay, that's fine, I can live with that. Video feed might be broken, I can't see the site. Is it a bit better now, the video feed? I think I wasn't switching over between windows, I always forget. I need someone to prompt me. EV Brink, how many people are involved in DashboardHub at the moment? Involved in what way? So open source wise, I do get a few small contributions. I think I've had about a dozen people doing small contributions, but all small contributions are welcome. They all, help quality and help move things forward. I've hired 2 people who start in 2 weeks. So 1 tech person and 1 marketing person. So that will allow us to move a lot faster forward. And we've got in 4 weeks, DashboardHub first real exhibition event at Startup Grind. About 3,000 techies there. So yeah, getting a bit nervous about it. I'm hoping to stream that day actually. I'll have asked Startup Grind if I can, on our stand, put a camera and just stream the day, so people can just pop in and just see what's going on. But they haven't got back to me if that's allowed or not. I'm sure it'll be fine. People are going to be recording on their phones and all the rest. But when people hear, I don't know, stream all day, they get a bit nervous. But yeah, so I'm hoping to stream that day, and I'll be there with 3 of Dashboard Hub colleagues. So that'll be good. There'll be 4 of us there. But you know, you're all contributing to Dashboard Hub by being here while I work on it. You know, you're spotting things, you're making suggestions and improvements. So yeah, if I bring up Dashboard Hub's contributor list, where's my mouse? And go to, I don't know if you see this when you go to it, probably just me because I'm admin on the project, but contributors, so we do have quite a few. Okay, Sarah doesn't count, this is my wife, but I use her account to do some work, so sometimes, so it doesn't count. We have a few others, it's mostly me, but we do have a few people doing small commits, yeah, hopefully get more as time goes on, and now, like I said, with some full-time employees, that's going to move things forward a lot faster. Yeah, but contributions are welcome. If you want to do some more open source contributions, they are welcome, no matter how small they are. They'll all be improvements. And if you want some help, I'm glad to give you some help. We can pair on it on a stream. Actually, Lynn down here, I think I saw on the list. Yes. So Lynn down here, she wants to pair on a stream with me and get more into Angular. So I will arrange a time with her, and when I can, now I've got the audio working, because last time I paired with Venzra, I had his audio coming out of my speakers going into my mic, which really sucked. So I've now got it working that I can get the audio from another app on the computer straight out through the stream, so it's just as clear, it's as clear as mine, as my voice. So yeah, so now I plan to do some more kind of pairing sessions on streams. So if you ever want to do anything, if you see an issue that you'd like the look of, let me know. I'll assign it to you, and you're welcome to have a go. But if you want to pair on it, we can pair on it on your stream, yeah, see how it goes. Let me see, how's CI doing? Wait for the page to load. A lot of output, and Travis and Safari do not play so good together. Jewel, no comments on Safari or Apple, please. Okay, 7 minutes. So yeah, it's going to be doing the deployment, so it'll be the longer one. It will be about 10 minutes. Yeah, it's and if I actually show you Chrome as well, this is on the test URL. If I do a refresh, you can see that it got updated 47 seconds ago, and it's at this stage, but we'll have a name. So if I go to the local environment, you'll see we put this name now. Oops, finish deploy, or start deploy, or start whatever, or finish build. So when this build deployment is finished, we will have that feature for future ones. I know I need to make it a bit prettier, but in terms of make it a bit user friendly. I think the same with this build-deploy. Actually, I should log an issue for that, so I don't forget. Let's raise an issue now. I'm actually going to close this. User-friendly environment type and latest release state. So we need to do those, and that will be done on the UI, and it will be something like build-deploy to go to something like build and deploy, maybe something like that. And then the other one was finish build, for example. We'd want this to say build finished. I don't know, something like that. Oh, I didn't put labels on it, I forgot. It's okay, we can still add it. I'd say it's probably 2 points, quite a small thing, and it's for the UI. There we go. So if anyone wants to have a go at this, they're more than welcome to. All PRs are welcome, or even just if you have any suggestions and ideas, raise an issue. That will get you your green box on your GitHub account. How are my green boxes doing? I had 8 before. What do I have now? 17. See, just on this stream, talking to all of you, Managed to get lots of contributions going. So there's someone at the door. I hope the wife is going to get it. But Evie Brink, I hope that answers your question. I kind of waffled, as I always do. And as Jewel and Vendra would say, it's turned into the Eddie show. That's still building, so that's going to deploy out in a second. I'm quite keen to have that deploy and just check that's okay. And look forward to seeing this appear. Oh, sorry, this appear on here. Let's have a look. How are we doing? If I refresh. Oh, it's 3/4 of the way now. It's about here, so it is doing the deployment as we speak. So we can see the state of it in the progress bar, and I know that, but again, the name will appear after this deployment. That's the feature we've just done. And yeah, I think that's I've had 782 releases and 4.6 thousand pings. So yeah. Oh, you can't see it. Let me make it smaller. It's behind the chat. There you go. You can see the stats on the right now. I'm running. Dig the stream. Have a good day. SpectraSpeed, thank you for joining. I really appreciate you having you here, and hopefully I'll see you. Look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good weekend. If I don't chat to you before, don't forget open source coding this weekend. Evie Brink, yeah, it'd be cool to contribute, but in a couple of weeks once I've delved into some frameworks first. Sure, no problem. When you're ready, just have a go, and like I said, give us a shout if you want to handle anything. More than happy to help. So yeah, I've got some hackathons coming up over the next month or two, so I'm quite keen to go to some hackathons, and I will stream the hackathons that I do go to. Actually, I created that repo this morning, I think. Let me bring Safari up. UK hackathons, so I haven't made it worldwide, but these are the ones coming up over the next kind of, I think, 8 weeks. I'm not going to all of them, unfortunately. I don't have time to go to all of them, but there are a couple that I want to go to. I think the Smart City Hack Day looks quite interesting. Well, they all look quite interesting, but I might go to one of these. If anyone in the UK or even outside the UK wants to join me, let me know. But you can join me remotely, as I will be streaming it. Okay, bring up Dashboard Hub. It's finished. There we go. So if I refresh the page to get the new UI, which will have, there you go. You can now see it says finish deploy. So on the next one, we'll actually get as the progress bar moves along, we'll actually get the name of the state it's in for the progress on the progress bar, like start build, finish build, start deploy, finish deploy. And there are some failed states in there. So I do have failed build and failed to deploy as well. But yeah, awesome. So I think AI sounds good. Yeah, and that's a really hot topic at the moment. Let's have a look. The future has not been written yet. Longest day of the year. Good day to have a hackathon on as well. 23rd of June, one day. 7-hour hackathon, deeper into AI. Expert or a newbie, definitely a newbie. Real world problems. What is a hackathon? We kind of know that. We know code, what to bring, laptop, energy and brain. Brain might get left behind. How do I join a team? Looks quite interesting. So everyone, I think it's time for you all to go code open source. And I will hopefully speak to you over the weekend. If not, I will see you on Monday, 5:30 p.m. UK time. And don't forget to join Discord below, and we'll chat between streams. Have a great weekend, everyone. And thank you very much for joining me. See you soon.